2 deaths from the COVID-19. What can you tell us?
Desiree, good morning to you as well. Yes, very sad news for residents of the Western Cape and of course for the whole country to wake up to. I can only imagine that this is just going to elevate the anxiety levels and the fear levels to, just people are going to be even more concerned right now. But hopefully, not that there's a silver lining to this news, but hopefully people will now spring into action and realize just how serious the situation is. So my colleagues and I, my camera colleague Hubert Slingers and I, we are going to be driving. The one hospital, the public hospital, is Tygerberg. We are going to be going out there to see what kind of information we can find. We don't know which hospital the private hospital is yet. I have spoken to provincial authorities. I've spoken to the office of the Premier in the Western Cape. At this stage, they are not sure if they have been designated to give us any information. They still have to get feedback and directions from National about who exactly is going to give more detail to those 2 deaths that we heard of this morning. So we are going to be on the ground. We'll be trying to get that information to you as soon as we can. Other than that, Hubert and I will be crisscrossing the larger part of the city of Cape Town. We're going to be going into townships. We're going to be going into suburbs. We're going to try to go into as many areas as possible, just to see what the situation is like on the ground, where the people are adhering. I can tell you for my part, when I left my area this morning, people who were standing in their gardens actually looked at me strangely because I was obviously driving. I felt almost guilty. Even though I am armed with all the necessary accreditation to be out on the streets, to be out working, I felt almost guilty for driving to work because obviously people don't know where I'm going to and that I do form part of essential services. But from what I've seen driving into Cape Town, there's a lockdown underway. Coming into the city centre itself, I did see less homeless people than normal. But I did see a couple of homeless people on the streets. The last time we spoke to the city of Cape Town, they said they were trying to find accommodation for homeless people. What I do know is all shelters are full to capacity. Shelters are requesting assistance. Obviously, they would need food just to help them with the extra bodies that they have in their shelters and homes at the moment. So that is the situation from the city of Cape Town itself. We are going to try to go to as many areas as possible because I think almost as impossible as it is to get voices of people, we need to hear how people are feeling, what they are thinking, what this period that we are going through means to them. I think of kids who live in the township areas. I think of kids who live in the flats, who live in the actual flats, on the Cape Flats. Those kids live in tiny quarters and they normally come from large families. How are parents going to keep them entertained in the house? So many, or in the flat rather, so many questions, so many concerns. This isn't just about you and me. We need to look at the bigger picture and we are going to try to bring you the bigger picture throughout the day. JJ?
Abra, the one feature that keeps coming up in terms of our social media interactions is that people are not, there aren't many sightings, actually no sightings of the military. Is that the case also in the Western Cape?
Do you know, I actually felt anxious. I prepared myself to get pulled over and I wasn't wearing my gloves or my mask when I was driving, but I had them next to me in case I get pulled over. So I didn't know, do I need to wear my gloves? I mean, there are so many regulations and yes, we are supposed to be on top of it, but there's just so much to read and to take in at this time. So even we try to be as armed as possible, with the information, but there's just so much happening. And I think even on a personal level for journalists, for producers, for editors, we are also affected by this. So coming in, I was thinking, oh my word, what am I going to say if I get pulled over? I checked my wallet a couple of times to make sure I have my accreditation. But I can say coming into town was a breeze. I never saw a single military vehicle. Obviously, we are based at Parliament, so there are loads of police officers at Parliament. They've been walking around. They're all wearing their masks and their gloves. That's all we've seen thus far. I did see on social media, my friends who live in areas like Mitchell's Plain, they've been saying, in fact, from 10 o'clock last night, the messages started coming through that the army, the military was in, or the SANDF was in the area. So we are definitely going to be heading out there to see what it looks like in those areas. Not just in those areas, in the suburbs. We're going to see if there's, equal visibility in the townships, on the Cape Flats, and in the leafy suburbs of Cape Town.
Abra, thank you so much for giving us a sense of the morning of the first day of lockdown.